There we go. I'll do a clap for you and everything. Fucking sink that bad lad.
Clap like.
So, first things first, we got our first comment. Fucking yes.
I've already forgot what it was. It was a hate comment though, wasn't it? What was it?
Oh, obviously it was a hate comment. It was like, don't give up the day job, losers. I only know because I cried in the shower for like 45 minutes. I want to.
I love it.
But also, this is my day job, so
I love
fuck
that.
you.
I love it. Yeah. I wonder.
Oh, I mean, it was.
I
Funny.
wonder
It
if he
wasn't
organically found the video or if he'd like clicked through my profile, because obviously I've been getting loads of fucking interactions on Twitter and I've been arguing with people as well. So like, obviously that fucking, I had that thing where, you know, the guy used me picture, didn't he? Like in an argument and things like that. And it's like, he obviously clicked on my profile. So I'm thinking, did he click on the thing? Because I don't care if he just clicks on and watches the video and he hates. He's already decided he hates us. I'm like, it was still a view and a comment. So it's just like, thanks.
Yeah, the algorithm sees it. You know
the algorithm's like, well, because I've done this on my own channel, which I don't do anymore. But like, when I used to do shorts and stuff, I did one short that like, the algorithm just doesn't care. They just want the video to be watched. Whether it's a hate watch or a genuine watch, they really don't discern that. So one of my most commented videos was just talking about my landlord being a cunt, and I'd named the video like all landlords are pricks or something like that. And the amount of comments was just landlords, loads of landlords in me comments going like, why not pricks? Like it's just tenants or assholes, and it's just like, but it was just like there were so many of them were fucking angry, and then it was like they were clearly like block liking each other's comments. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, even though a lot of my comments were getting likes, it was like they were always getting the most likes, and it was like, yeah, because that's other landlords defending landlords.
Landlords unite.
It's just like, and it's just like, no, well, you should have. It was because what happened was there was like damage in me bath, and I needed to fucking get the landlord out to look at it, and they sent a maintenance guy out, and we've got house rabbits, but we're moved in with the house rabbits. Like I had like them at when they handed us the keys in the kitchen, the woman was like looking at Bella, one of my rabbits, being like, "Oh, look how cute she is," blah blah blah, like literally interacting with her. They knew we had rabbits. We told them this, but then obviously this is like, you know, we've been here for like what, pushing fucking 8 years or something like that. So it's just like that maintenance guy must have went back and went, "Oh yeah, they've got rabbits," and then they messaged her being like, the landlord messaged her being like, "Oh well, you're not supposed to have pets," and I'm like, eh. I moved in literally with a pet, like, and like, well, she doesn't work here anymore. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, at the end of the day, like, because it wasn't the landlord, it's like a company who obviously does it for the actual landlord. And I'm just like, I understand if that's your policy, but like, you haven't sent us something where, like, you haven't sent us a new document going, "Oh yeah, we've updated the policy. You can't have pets." So like, obviously, I was like getting pissed off because I'm like, fuck, I'm panicking. At the time, this was a couple of months ago. Now I'm like thinking, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to move because I'm not going to give up the rabbits just because some fucking arseholes decided that they can't live here anymore. And then that ended up not being the case because like they basically like it's just like if any damage happens to the property, you have to pay for it. And I'm just like, we've never missed a payment ever. I was like, we've never been like a minute late ever. Like, and we'll probably never will. Like, touch wood, you know what I mean? So like, it's like a non-issue, and then they basically were fine with it essentially, but they like kind of put what on like hold for a couple of like emails where it was like, oh fuck it, and it started to feel like, oh fuck, my house is in jeopardy here. It made us hate living here to the point where I was like, oh, I know it's not my house because I rent, but it doesn't feel like a home anymore. Like you've taken away the feeling of this is my safe place, and now I'm thinking I want to move somewhere else. So obviously when I was in that frame of mind, like concerned, thinking, fuck, I'm now going to have to probably take out a small loan to quickly move. But I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where I can do that because I have really good credit, you know what I mean? But like, I was like, oh fuck, I'm going to have to do that. And like start to panic about that. So obviously I was angry. So I was like, fuck landlords, these are pricks. And then, and just the amount, but it was only landlords. It was like every comment, and I could just be like, you're a landlord. You're a landlord, like, like. So someone was going like, "I'm not a landlord," but and then did all these really specific examples. I was like, "You're a landlord?
You're a landlord? Just say you're a landlord.
You're a landlord that you just pretend like I'm a retired landlord. What does that mean? Well, I don't do anything else but own land."
Well, that's it. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's mental.
But the algorithm doesn't care. They were just like, wow, this video is popping off, kept sharing it to people because it was getting loads of comments and it was getting, even though it was probably like the most downvoted video by landlords.
By landlord, angry
landlords. But it was also
landlords.
because I'm a super small channel, so normally I wouldn't get that many views, you know what I mean? So hate kind of propelled it. So like, yeah, if you want to come on and leave a hate comment, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's the same difference.
Like on my channel at first, I was like, "Why are they being mean?" Do you know what I mean? Like it got to us, but then about 3 months in, I was like, "LOL."
I think it's
like,
just
you just watched my video and commented.
It's you get older thing, or it's like it's a new experience thing. Like, you know, like you fucking the first time you do something you've never done before, you get a bit of adrenaline, and then you don't get that ever again. Like you can never. It's like the cigarette thing, isn't it? Like I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm pretty sure it's like your first cigarette's your best cigarette, and then like. Yeah, you're chasing that high, which is why people have to go from 2 cigarettes a day to 40 a day because you're trying to get that same. Well, it's the same thing. It's like that once that's over. So now when I get a hate comment, I'm just like mint.
Yeah.
But I think I've been like that for years. Like I've always been like, you can't offend me because you're nobody to us. Like you don't matter.
And then like obviously the positive end of that, we've got a new subscriber as well. So like that's. Yeah, and it wasn't one of our alt accounts. Do you know what I mean? So fucking winning. Let's go, boy.
I'm wondering if the haters got alt accounts.
Yeah, well, that's it. Maybe he hated it and then subscribed so he could continuously like say hate. And I hope he does. Like, if you're watching this, say hate. Do you know what I mean? Thanks for the comment, bro.
Some of my favorite shows that I watch, though, like all the comments are people just shitting on them. But it's like, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. Although the comments technically mean like it's almost like a camaraderie between behind the community where they're just like call these people gay repeatedly because it's funny sort of thing. You know,
just call with faggots. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
Everyone's upset about the word retard at the minute, aren't they? Like they're really upset about.
Well, then they're all retards, then, aren't they?
I just want to know what the alternative is. Like genuinely, like what's the alternative? Yeah. Because like
you silly boy.
Because like it's not like. You can't, obviously you can be born retarded literally, but you can also become retarded. So like if like you hit your head or you fucking something happens, or there's loads of things. You can get a parasite, loads of wild shit. Anything that can lower your IQ to a certain amount can cause a level of retardation and terrible accidents and blah blah blah. And so it's not like I think like I'd understand the sentiment if you were calling people, I'd be like, oh, have you got Down syndrome? Like, I would say, like, that's out of line if you were using that, you know what I mean? Like, instead of saying retarded.
Right.
Like, not that saying someone has Down syndrome isn't still fucking hilarious. Don't get us wrong, because I'm a sick bastard.
They're full of joy.
But also, like, but it's not ubiquitous, though, is it? It's like, everyone says retarded. Not everyone, but obviously loads of people say retarded and loads of people don't say that. You know what I mean? So I'd understand that kind of thing. But, like, where did you draw the line? Because, like, isn't stupid just exactly the same? Because stupid,
well, that's it.
You know, it just doesn't have the same pull.
Moron,
you know what I mean?
Idiot,
moron, you know, troglodyte. But
or you're retarded. It's just got more of a hit to it.
But people are just like, nah, that's too far, that.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've said, like, have you caught Down syndrome before to somebody, do you know what I mean? Just because it's funny, not because I'm like, you know, I'm not hating on people with Down syndrome. They're happy.
You're like, oh.
So I kind of catch it, is what you're saying. So
I'm
can't
safe.
Be friends.
All right, take your clothes off.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm retarded. I've got a couple of parasites. Children, sorry. I was...
I've got a couple of brain parasites. What children? Yeah, girlfriend.
Yeah, well, that's it. But yeah, man, I think people need to stop fucking gatekeeping words. Like, you can't do this, you can't, like, fuck off. I'll do what I want. If you don't like it, just scroll on by. There's plenty of people who say shit that I don't like that sometimes might offend us, and I'm like, fucking, I'm just like, right, scroll on by, because just life's too short, man. You fucking retards. You retarded faggots. Move on.
It is, though. I genuinely, though, like, what is the alternative to, like... Because I can't be going like, well, you're dumb. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't,
you're a
you know what I mean?
boy.
Because the thing is if someone's saying the most hateful shit ever, because sometimes someone's like going like, oh, fucking get brown people out of the country, and you're just like, oh my God, you're retarded. And then someone's coming at me going, oh, you can't say retarded. And I'm like, he's saying the most racist, disgusting shit you've ever heard in your life. He's a fucking retard.
Like, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's the same on, like, you know, Ezra Miller. Like, he's them, I think. Like, he was allegedly nonsense kids, and everyone's like, no, you got that pronouns wrong. Like, fuck that pronouns. That touching kids.
Yeah.
Like, where's the sense?
Yeah.
I don't care about pronouns. You can say what you want. You can identify as whatever you want. But if you say something retarded, I'm going to call you a fucking retard. It's that simple. I couldn't give a flying fuck. Just, it's fucking stupid, man. But so angry podcast today. Fucking mad because I can't say retard.
But I just think it's for me. It's just more like shocking because, like I say, it's that. Normally, when I say if anything, when I'm actually insulting someone retarded, like saying someone's retarded, I'm normally actually doing them a fucking benefit, really, because I'm saying you're saying the most vitriolic, fucking racist, hateful shit imaginable. I'm calling you a retard because if you were retarded, I'm asking you if you're retarded because if you were retarded, that would be the only acceptable way for you to be like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anything, me calling you a fucking retard in that circumstance, I'm giving you the benefit of the fucking doubt because the alternative is that you're the worst human alive.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's it. Exactly.
You fucking retard.
And usually they all. But I mean, like it's that thing. It's like Twitter's like a vacuum in it, and all of these horrible, evil people seem to be on here. But then you get the people who will attack you for saying retard when you're like, well, hold on, like he's just literally said he nonce to 12 kids, and you're like, but you call him a retard.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a crime. This is you just stating a fact.
I think it's that thing of, I mean, you're fucking 100% on. It's people who are as someone myself, I would say I'm pretty terminally online right now.
Yes.
But it's that thing of terminally online. So, like, I think we'd said it in a few episodes about when we had the UK election. It was like I've been like pretty much living on Twitter at the minute, but I used to watch a lot of TikTok as well. And like all the TikTok comments were like, vote reform, every single thing to do with politics. The comment was just full of people saying vote reform, and a lot of the time it was the most liked comment as well. And it was obviously like bots or whatever. But
yeah.
I was saying that, and it was starting to plant the seed in my head. Where I'm going, fucking hell, I think reform's gonna fucking maybe swing it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was like when the actual fucking votes came in, it was like, fuck me, why did I think that for even a fucking second? Because they got a hilariously low amount of votes. They got like a lot of votes, or a disturbing number of votes for like a brand new organization, but I really don't like the term that they're a brand new organisation. They're just fucking British Nationalist Party rebranded, aren't they? So
yeah, they're just racist rebranded, like,
but
definitely.
I just thought it was like, you know what I mean? Like that thing. So that's the thing with being terminally online, where it's like people are like arguing about stuff and you're like, yeah, but most people aren't. Like, obviously we've just had Gamescom, which was shite. And it was fucking shite. I'll tell you about that comment I saw yesterday on the fucking Future Game Show.
Oh yeah, something I wouldn't gift these games to
I
anyone.
literally, like, I went on YouTube, and you know, like sometimes it'll just pop a live video up and it said Future Game Show, and I was like, I didn't even know that was on. I've watched them before though in the past. So I was like, oh, I'll click on it, and it was some indie game that looked shite. And the first comment I just saw was that someone going, I wouldn't even gift these games, and I thought, oh, I can't even be asked to watch this. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. And it's not a slight on indie games because there's some fucking brilliant indie games that I genuinely love, like Cloudpunk. What's the other one that's fucking class that I played recently? Anyway, there's like loads of indie games that are fucking brilliant. It's not a slight on indie games. It's just most of the stuff that on there is fucking vaporware, absolute shite. But
oh yeah, definitely.
But obviously with Gamescom, obviously one of the bigger announcements was Indiana Jones, which was previously Xbox exclusive, is now going to be coming to PS5 a few months later. And people are now going like, oh, what's the point in Xbox? And I'm like, I give this big thing of like, well, you can buy a really weak PC, you can buy a Steam Deck, or you can buy a really powerful PC. I was like, they all still do the same thing. I was like, the Xbox still plays games within like, what, to turn on my PC, I've got to physically turn it on, then I've got to log in, then I've got to open the app I want to use. If it's a game, I probably need to open Steam first and then play, you know what I mean? There's a few steps. I'm not saying that they're hard to do, they're not at all, but doesn't beat the plug and play of a fucking Xbox or a PlayStation. Like, they're just like 2 button presses now, or one.
Yeah,
I think it's 2. One to turn on. Oh no, it depends because I think because me and Lottie both use the Xbox, I've got to log into my account, which is an extra press of the button A. So then I press A once, and then if my last game's like right there, I just press A again. I'm back in my game. Like, and it took like fucking sub 10 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So like people are going, there's no point having Xbox. And I'm like, yeah, but if you like Xbox, it's convenient. You've got all your library there. If your friends are on it, all your friends are on. Game Pass, you can't argue. Game Pass is a steal. And as someone who has a PS5 and pays for PlayStation Premium, Game Pass is better than Premium. Like, there's better choice of games on it. Like, yeah, there's obviously more exclusives on PS5, But exclusives per year are like sub 5 games.
Yeah.
So like this idea that there's no games, it's like, well, there's actually a big argument right now that there's no games on the PS5 anyway. People go, well, why would I get a PS5?
Yeah, well,
there's no games on that. So it's the same as the Xbox. It's like, but if you like that ecosystem, and like, there's a lot of things to like about it. Like the game switching's really good. The load times obviously are insane. There's certain stuff it does that the PlayStation don't like. I've got a pretty decent TV with VRR, variable refresh rate. That you get variable refresh rate like premium. I can't remember what it's called on Xbox versus PlayStation, which means the VRR kicks in at a lower frame rate and smooths the image out for you, or lessens the chance of screen tearing at a lower frame rate than the PlayStation.
Right.
So if I'm playing the exact two games comparable, and it's like, say, a game that has like a shit frame rate, like some fluctuates between 30 to 60 frames, it's going to look better if I'm playing that on my Xbox, on my specific TV, obviously, or on a TV that has that capability. And it also has Dolby Vision HDR, which I think is the better version of HDR. I prefer that to the inbuilt PlayStation HDR. And I just prefer that to like other versions of HDR, like HLG and stuff. Anyway, this is just me being a sad nerd. But like there's, like I say, there's those things. But I don't get us wrong, I still fucking love me PlayStation, and I probably play me PlayStation more. But this idea, like, oh well, there's no reason, no one. It's like, maybe for you.
Yeah, well, that's
and
it.
like,
it's personal preference.
but
isn't
like,
it? That's
some
the
people
only
prefer
thing.
that controller, or some people's all your friends are there, or game library's massive. If you, like I say, one of the things Xbox still does better, I think, is like backwards compatibility is way better on Xbox. So like. For example, they had to re-release Red Dead Redemption 1 on PlayStation, and it's just the PS2 code, and you had to pay for it. But it's like, if you bought Red Dead Redemption on the Xbox, it's the PS3 code, sorry. But if you had Red Dead Redemption on your Xbox 360 digitally, that just plays on your Xbox, and the Xbox upscales it to 4K. So Red Dead Redemption 1, playing that on an Xbox Series X, looks better than playing Red Dead Redemption, the one you paid for, Red Dead Redemption 1. The remastered one. And I use that term loosely. It looks better. You know what I mean? Like, it looks better.
Yeah, man.
So it's just like, but that, I'm not saying that should be a system seller or anything, but these are things that people consider about, you know what I mean? They consider like, oh, wow, I've got 400 digital games on Xbox. It's gonna be a hard sell to go to PlayStation if I only care about one exclusive.
Well, that's it, yeah.
And most who plays just the exclusives?
Nobody. I mean, the mustn't, right? I mean, like, the way I see it is like, why are you fucking arguing over a bit of plastic about a company who doesn't give a fuck about you? They've got your money now. You could die tomorrow and they wouldn't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? So just stop sucking either of the fucking.
It's all engagement data, and they're just going like, well, Xbox is dead, and it's like Phil Spencer. Like, people are giving Phil Spencer shit because it was like something like 5 months ago. He basically said, it's not Indiana Jones coming to PS5. And then obviously at Gamescom, he's like, yes, it is coming to PS5. He's like, the market's changing. And for them, it's like, if you've got a PlayStation and you love your PlayStation, and let's be honest, they're not cheap. It's the first console generation the price hasn't went down over the years. So they're still full price. So not everyone can be in a place where they can afford both, or necessarily even wants to afford both, because that means you've got to split time between multiple consoles, and not many people want to do that. Like, if you're just a PlayStation guy and you're never ever going to buy an Xbox, why wouldn't Xbox think, well, we could have that money still off them?
Yeah, well,
do you know what I mean? People go, oh, well, it makes your console not special. I'm like, nah, they're still getting Indiana Jones first. And it's on Game Pass, which is 20 quid a month. So, and Indiana Jones is a single player game. So for 20 quid a month, you could play all of Indiana Jones complete, start to finish, for 20 quid.
Yeah.
But on PlayStation, well, fucking Xbox is dead. You'll have to pay 70 quid for that game if you want to play it. So, like, man, you're telling us there's no reason. Well, there's a reason there. You've just saved 40 fucking quid for the same game.
That's it.
Like,
yeah, man.
I'm not saying don't support Indiana Jones on PS5 if you want to play it. Absolutely, it looks pretty decent. I'm sick of saying it though. I'm already at a point where I'm like, I actually will play it, and it looks good. But I just didn't want to. I didn't want to see the videos anymore. It's a bit like a trailer, you know, like when they just keep you've been to the cinema too much over the course of 2 months, and you've seen the same.
And you've seen the same trailers, recently, yeah.
Stop showing us
Yeah.
that fucking trailer.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, I went to the cinema to see the new Aliens. Not as good as everyone said.
Yeah.
Just to, I won't spoil it or anything. But I went.
Is there
I went
aliens
with
in it?
my mate Paul.
Spoilers!
Oh, there's spoilers. There's aliens in it.
Fuck, the
And
spoilers.
like, I've been to the cinema to see Twisters recently, and a couple other movies. I can't remember
Yeah.
what. The Trap and two others.
I was trapped. I know this is.
It was all right.
Oh.
It's not great, but I like Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
I'll have to watch that.
He plays like an unhinged person. Like, it's weird because the way he talks is like, well, real people don't speak like that.
Right.
But then I was thinking, well, yeah, but he's a fucking serial
Yeah.
killer, isn't he? He's trying to appear to be a normal person. But it was all right. Bit meh ending, but I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. But anyway, so yeah, all the trailers were the same. And when I got Aliens, the trailers came on, and my mate Paul next to me was like, "Oh, that looks good," and I'm like, "I'm fucking,
I'm sick of seeing the
like the first time I saw the Gladiator 2 trailer, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking epic," and now I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to see this
It
movie
actually looks
anymore."
shit. I think it looks shit. Even
Do
my
you
first
think?
time watching it, yeah.
Well, I
Dunno.
think it looks pretty good.
I just don't think it needed
But
to be made, but
Oh, it didn't at all. And the Crow trailer, I mean, the Crow has had literally no marketing whatsoever, and it's the same trailer, but they've cut the same the first trailer. They've cut all the violence out and put that on as a trailer.
Yeah.
So like he goes to like bash someone on the head with a shotgun and it cuts,
Yeah.
and it goes to a love scene and stuff like that. And I'm just like, they've got no faith in this movie whatsoever, like. And it's going to be
it's
garbage,
gonna be
but I'll find out tomorrow.
Like I said, like it's like the date night movies are always the worst in the cinema. It's gonna be a fucking date night movie, innit?
Well, that's it. Yeah,
Hardly anyone's a real. Like realistically, no offense, because you're an old man just like me, and I know you hate it when I say this, but you're an old man, and The Crow's just not got the same fan base that it had. You know what I mean? Its fan base is so like when you think of like how small our town is and stuff, like. You're like the people in your fucking screen, it'll probably be like 3 people who are actually fucking Crow fans, and then it'll be a bunch of teenagers who just we're just going to say.
I mean,
they've got
3 showings on a day for the next week, and like obviously I like to check to see which one's the quietest. You know what I mean? And all of them are dead already.
Yeah.
There's like 4 people. I mean, obviously people will buy the tickets when they get there.
Oh
do
god,
you know what I mean?
but it'll still not be much more.
But it's
There's no marketing.
I mean, the best thing
around
about it is I don't have to pay for premiere seats. I'll just have to sneak onto them once the movie starts.
They're a bit shit.
But yeah, I'm
like,
hoping
the
to see
premiere
it
seat's
tomorrow.
a bit of a scam, really. A few times. It depends on the cinema, but there's some cinemas where like the premiere seat actually is worse than the regular seat.
Ah, yes, sometimes, yeah. But it's got an IMAX screening, but it's
nice.
only on IMAX once.
Fucking
Do you know
hell.
what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas, like, Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously that's night and day, do you know what I mean? But, like, that had all the IMAX and stuff like that. But, I mean, I'm hoping to go and see it tomorrow, so I'll let you know. But I've got no hope of it being good at all. I
Yeah.
watched the Crow, the original Crow, not yesterday, but the day before, and I still love it. It's fucking great.
Oh, it's class. Don't get us wrong, but my point is that like. It's like,
oh yeah, I know what you were saying.
It's like me fucking joke that I made about Lyle. I'm like, it's that thing. I'm at that age now where like our reference points are like
yeah, that's it.
Like I'm not saying people who've seen The Crow won't go and see it because of course they will, but I imagine the big part of people watch it have never even seen the original Crow, even know what it is.
Yeah,
because that was the thing where like for me,
insane,
watching, I was like, why have they not done the face paint? Like it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Why have they not done that? And then I'm thinking, yeah, but like how many people go watch remakes and don't even know they're fucking remakes? Like that's a thing where people don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the defense of the face paint, it's similar in the comic to what's on the new movie as opposed to the old one.
I agree with that sentiment, but I just think it was so. It
still looks awful.
It's so iconic to it now. It just seems like
you should have.
It would have just looked so, and it's the one part of the film I think that will eternally hold up. I feel like if you were doing a Crow outfit, say for a Comic-Con, and you wanted people to know it was Crow at a glance, it would be that face paint, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it's face paint. I think it's tears.
Yeah, like
I genuinely
tears
think his
or
tears are black.
Yeah.
And he just smears them on his
Tears
face,
of
and
death,
that's fucking gothic as fuck. But in the wrong Crow movie, do you know what I mean? Like he looks like a sound clown rapper, and it's just not good. I'm still gonna say it though. I'm still gonna give them me money.
God, yeah. There's a difference.
Anyway.
It's the same. It's the same. It's games. Those are like a hardcore gamer sort of thing. It's like you're the type of person who'll watch something. Do you know what I mean? So you'll pay to
I
watch
love
it.
the cinema
That's,
experience.
yeah, so like you're like, I'm doing that for that. And like you'll play a game rather than be like, well, the review said it was shit. You'll be like, I'll just buy it and play it, and if I don't like it, I'll stop playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't give a fuck about other people's
yeah,
opinions. I've got to make
the audience they need to get in is the people who won't go to see it. The people who like choose to spend their money a bit more wisely.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know what I mean? Because we're absolutely
shit.
like, I'll give me time to just about anything for like a try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
well, that's it.
even if I know it's shit, I'll still be like, well, I'll watch an episode. I normally have a 3-episode rule as well. I normally go like, even if I'm not enjoying the first episode, I'll give it 3 episodes. And if it's 3 episodes, I'm still not attached to anyone, and it's fucking annoying as then never again.
Yeah, man.
I totally interrupted you there. You did have an actual completely unrelated point to the corona. Just
I can't remember what it is now. I'm too old, man. I've forgotten. Where am I? What's this? But yeah, I mean, as like wasting money, like I didn't know that Black Wukong game existed until Black Myth Wukong until yesterday. And then I saw a review for it. I was like, oh, I clicked on it and it looked like a Souls game. I was like, I'm going to buy it then. That was as far into the review I got. I was like, Souls. So I was like, oh, well, I'll buy it. It's not a Souls game.
Is it not?
It's very, it's an ease. It's like Souls if it's easy.
All right.
Because when you die, you don't lose your souls or what have you.
Say this is the one I need to play then because of my ADHD, I just don't have the patience for the crushing defeat of traveling all the way to a boss and then losing 20,000 souls.
No, you don't lose anything. I'm level 15 and I'm still in the first level. Because it's like linear. There's chapters.
Aye.
And I am stuck on a boss, but it's as simple as just keep beating up the enemies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then none of that easy. Plus, like the animal human hybrid, so I'm like chinning wolves and foxes.
Yeah. It looks visually really cool. Like I've seen someone just posted gameplay of that other one. Have you seen that Phantom Blade Zero? I think it is.
No.
That was. I think it was announced at one of the fucking June events, like the kind of E3 style events. That isn't E3, you know, like an Xbox Direct or something. But yeah, that looks really good. That's Souls-like, and it's I don't know what he's got one of those Japanese big hats, you know, the big fucking
all right,
out of bamboo or some shit like what. But he's got one of those big hats,
straw hat or something.
But like, although it's Soulsborne, like the fighting looks really fast, a bit like Sekiro.
All right, that is nails. That game.
So I think
that is not an entry level Souls like because.
You have to be able to parry on that, don't you? Perfectly.
Yeah, but it's also you can only level up like damage and stuff like that as you kill bosses.
Right.
You can't just like put points into your damage and stuff. You can unlock moves and abilities. Yeah, but you can't like and it's so hard.
So you have to just basically learn that boss and get good.
You have to fucking get good, man. Like real good. So yeah, it is a tough game, but I enjoy them. I know you said, I think we said that last time in the podcast. Oh, maybe it was just in private, but you were like, you don't like the grind. I love the grind, me, because I'm like, that boss just beat the shit out of me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to kick the fuck out of him.
It's weird though. I think it's as I've got older because I used to like the grind because I think of like, I love shooters, and when I first started, like the shooter that hooked us was Battlefield, Bad Company 2, and I sucked at it. Like I was shit. But I kept playing in spite of being shit until I got really good. And now, out of all my friends, I'm like the best Battlefield player by like quite a margin. Yeah.
It's the same for me with PUBG. I sucked at that, and now I suck slightly less.
But yeah, I think it's. I don't know if it's just an old age thing. I just can't be arsed with. Like, it's the time thing. I'm a bit like this with series as well, though. I will give anything a try, but. It's easier for us, like, say, if Lottie's on board as well, so, like, if Lottie wants to watch it. But if it's down to me, if it's down to me and you go, Ben, watch your show, and I go, how many seasons is it? And you say 5 or more, I go, oh, I don't know, like. Yeah. But then I say that, I've started watching fucking Critical Role, which is, you know, them playing Dungeons and Dragons and just recording it.
All right.
I started watching that because Lottie's been playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I'd caught her watching some. Not caught. I walked in. How dare you?
What are you doing?
Why are you naked? What? That's not a natural 20. What? So yeah, I walked in and her, or whatever she was watching it, and like sometimes she'll be watching shite, and I don't know why she does this, but typically she's like turns it off when I come in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care what you're watching. Like, just keep watching it. You do know that I'm going to ignore you and play on my phone anyway. But then what happens is, like, say she's watching, like, normally she watches, like, procedural cop dramas and things like that, or like court case stuff like Law and Order and all that. And then what I find is like halfway through the episode, I'm like, turns out I'm invested. I'm like, I hope this fucking pedo gets arrested. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what happened. I was watching it, and then like they're just so charismatic because they're all voice actors. I'm sure you know this because you know obviously
I know that
voice acting and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I've started watching it myself, and actually I'm like, so like you know the fact that like you say 5 series is like too many, whereas this on average is 3 hours an episode, and there's like 300 episodes.
You should watch the Legends of Vox Machina then, because that's them.
That's them. So yeah,
that's them. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I just clicked because their campaigns are now in animated form.
Yeah, so that's what. That's the campaign
show.
I'm actually watching. So this campaign, eventually they turned that into they crowdfunded it themselves. And they made something ridiculous. It was like they made like 11 million or something on crowdfunding.
Fucking hell, nice.
And people turned it, and obviously got turned into a cartoon. But I'm just watching them do it, and obviously it's so much better in real time because it's just improv, really.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's just it's those funny moments that you can't bank on, other than in a you know like the funny moments you couldn't write. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm finding it really. But the thing is like I said, typically I'd be like, fuck me, 5 seasons. Whereas like this is at least 3 hours an episode, most episodes. And there's like 390 episodes for just this campaign. So they've got loads of other campaigns as well, I think.
I'll have to watch it.
And I've started watching it.
I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I just don't know anybody to play it. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
well, that's
my
the other thing is like
friends.
That's my thing is that now I'm thinking like, oh, I might have to set up a Dungeons and Dragons.
Do it.
Because
let's go.
Well, the irony is that period of time that we fell out. Remember, like, I started doing that podcast with Adam. We were gonna do Dungeons and Dragons with Adam, not like recorded or anything. We were just gonna play it because he had like you know the book and everything, and we were gonna fucking get together. There was a few, but now I'm anyway. Now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm getting pretty excited about this. Like I'm enjoying it, watching it and stuff. Lottie's been playing it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this campaign that I'm playing." She's like, "They'll let you play if you want to play, 100%, no problem." And she was like, "And also my friend's doing a one shot, which is basically you just go and the story just takes place that session, the entire campaign, like a short campaign. So like, say you go and do 3 hours, but it's not like you know you need to come back and." So she's like, "So why don't you come to that one shot because then you can see if you like it, sort of thing." But then now I'm thinking, like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, but I'd love to do it in person. I wouldn't even be totally like against the idea of recording because it seems pretty straightforward to record. I'm thinking maybe when I move because I'm obviously looking to move in the next couple of months. So I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I could do that because I think I could get because you need obviously a dungeon master who hosts it. And then you only need about 3 or 4. You only need, I would probably say 4 players for a decent game. And I think I could probably get that in Nepal because my mate Mark is a total fucking nerd as well. Like, he's into like Warhammer and shit, and he's always also wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, just hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, so then I was just 100%. Like, so there's you and Mark, and then Lottie, that's 4 straight away. Do you know what
there you go.
It's like straight away, and then I'm pretty sure, like, because she was playing it with her best friend. So she was going over to her best friend's house, and they were playing our best friend's boyfriend, and our boyfriend's mate was the dungeon master. And she was like playing it for quite a while. Like they did it, I don't know, 6 or 7 sessions. But you know, you're talking like once every 2 weeks or something. So they did it over a couple of months. But I think it was just like the guy who was dungeon master wasn't very charismatic or something, or whatever.
Right. Okay.
It just fell apart. Yeah. So you'd have to find the right person because I don't know if I'd want to be dungeon master or if I'd want to play. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I'd willingly give all of it a try. Yeah. I mean, my only like thing into that is seeing Big Bang Theory, and like Howard is the dungeon master and he like creates all this like shit that they've got to do, and I was like, I'll fucking I'll give that a shot, man. I'd love to do that shit. But I'd love to just play as well. You know what I mean? Like create my own character and just make it as funny as possible and just play the game, you know? But obviously I don't know the rules. I don't know how it works. But I mean, definitely I'd be down to do that shit.
Well, like I say, I'm still fucking learning because I've only just started thing. But I mean, I think you can have it as straightforward, as complex as you want it. You know what I mean? So like you can make it more difficult or you can make it more straightforward. But essentially it's just someone writes a basic fucking campaign, and a lot of those things are just like here's a room together for a premise. Do you know what I mean? And you just have a conversation in a bar, and then obviously you have a fight, and you're just like rolling a dice for like most of your decisions. And then obviously like the higher the dice roll, like the better, the more success. You know what I mean? Like and then that's what changes the story. It's like, you know, I think this person's lying, or I run a perception check to see if they're lying. And then it's like, oh, I only got a 1. It's like, oh, well, you can't tell if they're lying or not. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Or like,
because you're
you know
retard.
what I mean? Or like you run a perception check, and like the dungeon master will decide whether the person was lying or not, and you will succeed in that. And it's that, and that thing changes it all the time. And then I do think you need good people as well for it to be entertaining. Like, I think that's a big part of it. But I don't think that would be an issue if it was like me, you, Lottie, and Mark, and maybe me and Nathan. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be, and that's all you need. Like,
you get to like pick your own character name and that.
So you pick, you pick a class, you pick a name.
I'll be Retardo McFaggot. You know what I mean?
No characters that sound like fucking they're related to a retarded Ronald McDonald. Right? That's the one. That's the one rule.
Damn it! Oh.
But one of the things that's really good as well is obviously someone like it's a bit like the trans experience. You know, like how obviously like you can choose what you want to be.
Yeah.
One of the things I find wildly entertaining is like when it's like a big dude and he's like, "Oh, I'm playing a little goblin girl," and he's doing the voice. He's like, you know what I mean? Because that's what you can do, and it's funny as fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, you already know that I like to do stupid voices and shit. Yeah. So I mean, I'd be down.
Well, like I say, you should watch it anyway, just because they're all voice actors.
Oh, I'm going to now.
You'll love it. Like it is. It's
a
massive fucking time sink, but it's. But yeah, there's multiple campaigns, but I think the one I'm watching is called the Campaign 2, and they're called the Mighty Nine. It's in like 9 from the German thing. I don't know why they're called. They must have did a previous campaign, but this is the one everyone recommends that you watch first for some reason. I think it's got a bit more. There's a lot more like streamlining of the process. Like they've got a bit of a production team on the go. Yeah. So like they're streaming live on Twitch. But then obviously they're uploading, they're just, you're watching the episodes after they've been uploaded. So there's like graphics on screen and stuff. So like when they come up, when one of them's talking and stuff, sometimes they'll put up that character sheet for you and you can see that person's got, because you'll understand the character sheet because it's Dark Souls. It's basically like, you know, charisma, strength, it's like all those things, dexterity, like it's all those things. And much like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or those type of games, because those are the very, very similar fucking mindset. It's, you put your points into whatever and you level up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, as someone who, for you, as someone who already loves that kind of shit, it's like, it's basically just Dark Souls roleplay. Yeah,
I'm down. When you move, like, I'll definitely be up for that.
But obviously you can just do it via chat like this. But I don't know. I think
it'd be more better if it was more personal.
I think there's a bit of more charm to like, because one of the things that I think's like, it's like really what's the word? Endearing about it is like they're friends and they're like elbowing each other and like, you know, like when someone makes you laugh so hard you have to hold on to them and stuff like that, like stuff like that. Like I find that really endearing where they're just like, or like they're like sneaking glances like, fuck off, you know what I mean? And like,
like, man.
You know what I mean? Like he's doing the goblin voice and then he breaks character to tell someone to fuck off, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I feel like that's more like vibe in the room, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm down. I would definitely want to record that shit because I think it would be hilarious, especially with me and you. Because I mean, me and you, I think what we do is we always just try to make each other laugh the whole time. So I think that's all it would be. Yeah. It would just be me and you trying to say the funniest shit and.
That's why I'm torn, because I'm like, do I want to be the DM or do I want to play? Because I feel like I can do both. Like I feel like I'm good at writing because obviously I've wrote stuff in the past many times and stuff. But then I also think I love being in me silly like reactive element is like do you know what I mean? So who knows? Because like obviously I'm gonna probably try and do this one-shot one, and then I might even try and get on with Lottie's mates just to have a little try.
Yeah, man.
Because it might be a case of like maybe their DM's super charismatic and I can convince them to fucking be DM for her or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah, man, you'd have to let us know.
But yeah, but same thing as well as like obviously if I end up getting in, if I do end up doing that, I'm gonna watch a lot more Critical Role first. I need to understand the game more. I wouldn't mind buying the rule book, to be honest. I'm gonna understand the game a bit more, and then I might start playing that. But like if I do start playing that one, obviously if that's in class, I might say, oh, can my friend Paul join in? Because she says they're just open to people join, but because I think they want.
Yeah, but I'd love that shit.
Yeah. But definitely. Like it just looks fun, and I just like stretching that creativity muscle sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
which is a weird name for my penis, but here we are.
So, I love how this is just turning us like creating a time for us to play Dungeons and Dragons, and that's the podcast now. You're welcome.
Just unashamed nerds, just not even.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Well, I mean,
you
can't look at your camera and see all that shit in the background and be like, "That's a guy who wouldn't play Dungeons and Dragons."
Oh yeah, I would. Like,
it's like,
I mean, that's the Dark Souls Collector's Edition there in the background next to Chucky. You can't see it because it's shiny and shit.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But there's nothing. That's the thing. There's nothing that you wouldn't fucking do in that respect. Like I said though, the initial point is that you're a consumer, as am I.
Oh yeah.
So you love that shit, and then it's just like, but it's become your new fucking hyper focus now. So like yesterday, it was all I watched. I think I watched about 6 hours of it, which is ridiculous. Like it's an unacceptable amount.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and watch it because I like the Legends of Vox Machina, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So but at first I was like, what is that? But now I know what you're talking about. I'll definitely watch it. Campaign 2.
Yeah. Campaign 2, yeah.
Right.
So. You can watch Campaign 1 and anyone's you want. It's just the production value is a lot higher on. I think on Campaign 1, I've only seen screenshots of it. I haven't actually watched any of it. I think that's actually in someone's kitchen, just on the kitchen table. Whereas in 2, I don't know if they're in a studio or in someone's house, but someone's literally like, because obviously they're so into the lore, someone's like built a set, someone sent them a table. You know what I mean? Like some like fucking carpenters like made this amazing fucking table for them. Where there's even a cutout for the DM so that he basically has like wooden I don't know what you'd call them, like almost like a menu to hide his shit, you know what I mean? Because obviously he's playing the game, he's like directing the game to you and shit like that. So they've got like a real fucking decent setup, but I still don't think it would be hard to run a setup. As someone who obviously now, me and you have both been recording shit for a long time, like I don't think it would be hard to put up some mics and run two cameras, one on the DM and one on the players.
Oh
like, I don't actually think. So it was just more space thing, because one of the things that me and Lottie were talking about when we move as well is like, living room's got such a shit layout. We're fucking we'll watch TV in the games room, like in this room, instead of in the living room, because the layout's so shit. So it's like we get somewhere where the living room is actually the living room, then the TV and a couch doesn't need to live in this room. So I'm like, I can get a big fuck off table for Dungeons and Dragons instead, like a sad bastard. But yeah, I was just saying, like the irony that you can't convince us to watch a 5-series show, but then I've just started watching basically the longest bit of content I've probably ever started watching in my life.
Yeah, you've consumed ever. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
And I want to play. And I'm gonna start playing Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate is just Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So it's basically it's turn-based, but you do the same thing. You still roll the dice for your fucking.
Right. Is that the one that's just recently come out?
Last year or the year before.
I'm sure I started that, but then I didn't get into it. But I mean, I'll have to go back.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll definitely give Critical Role as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna watch it because I'm just gonna be editing, so I'll have to get that watched.
Yeah. You'll love it because you love voice actors anyway. Obviously, as someone who's done a bit of voice acting and stuff like that. And it's just. Obviously, because they're voice actors, they've got great voices as well. So that really lends itself well to the fucking format, you know what I mean? Because they're all expressive voices anyway. But it's just the camaraderie and like that thing of like, oh yeah, that looks like silly good fun. I did dabble in, like I say, I did dabble in thinking about playing it with Adam back in the day because of Stranger Things. Because obviously in Stranger Things, like that's a big through part. Is like they play it, and then all the fucking monsters are based on creatures from
Dungeons and Dragons.
So like so that's one of the things I wonder how the community thinks about Stranger Things. I wonder if they loathe it, because obviously it's like casuals have fucking co-opted it quite a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be interesting to find out.
I mean, I was years before Stranger Things where I wanted to play it, and I actually did have a chance to play it with the people online, but you remember that fucking Gump kid?
Oh, right,
Right, I said to somebody, "Oh, yeah, please, I'd really like to play Dungeons and Dragons," and he was like inviting loads of people, and then Gump wrote underneath, "Fucking, you better not fucking play without me, you cunt." And then obviously the bloke didn't respond to me, and I was like, "Nah, it's because of fucking Gump, innit?" He responded to everybody else, so, but so
better not play without me, you retard.
Yeah, you big retarded faggot.
What? We need to talk about Andrew Tate getting arrested for fucking alleged behaviour with minors as well. Did you see this? He was arrested yesterday.
I've got him blocked. I can't stand the
I didn't say it on his. I don't think he posted about it. It was like a news story. He's in prison.
Just been arrested for nonsense. I'm a rapscallion.
And like all these clips are coming out of him, like saying like, oh yeah, like it's because obviously we talked about this again, the cusp of legality. He's like, oh well, you know, in Romania it's 16, so he's been shagging loads of 16-year-olds apparently. But then it's also like some of them are like,
what a guy.
There's literally clips of him saying he shags 15-year-olds, and then like when he realizes he's saying 15, not 15, 16, changes it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then all these like lasses who were underage have come out and said, yeah, he's messaged them or was trying to solicit them, and because obviously he's trying to get these girls to come to his fucking thing. And he's also said in his, what was it called? It was his fucking ridiculous program, had a silly name.
The War Room.
No, that's his fucking, I think that's just what he calls the room where he fucking does podcasts from or some shit. We should start calling this a war room.
For the Geordie version. The War Room.
Whose room? War's room?
The War's room.
Oh no, it was Hustlers University. He's fucking.
Oh, yeah. He's fucking
so he was saying thing on his scam. He's like saying, you know, like you need to get a girl young so that you can dominate her and she's more malleable and you can control her and all this shit. So he's definitely a fucking wrong'un.
Oh,
he's a wrong'un whether they can prove it or not, basically. But I just think it's really good news to fucking be like. It's really nice seeing him being taken out in cuffs. I'm like, you piece of shit.
Again,
you
fucking
piece
I'll have
of
to go
shit.
find that video then. Yeah, I mean, like, don't get us wrong. Like, some of the things he said in the past that I can agree with. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do believe that, you know, it's my job to protect my family and blah 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 blah. But not to the point where I'm like fucking they can't breathe because I've chose to not let them have air because I'm a god or whatever he used to fucking say. But yeah, I mean, fucking good. I'm glad he's been arrested. It's what
the thing is, all like the protecting family shit and all that. It's like, it obviously that's just inherent to you. I think as an individual and like your humanity as an individual. Because like right now, like I don't have kids and I'm never having kids. Like, I'm like, obviously you never know or whatever. But like, you know, my girlfriend. There's no plans, and we're doing every precaution possible to not. You know what I mean?
You hit 40 and you're like, I want a kid.
Every time I have
like,
sex,
what are you doing?
Straight afterwards, I throw it downstairs just to be safe. Every precaution that you can imagine, throw it over a window, like I don't open the window or anything, straight through the glass.
Just shoot her in the stomach after every time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't take another bullet. You will.
Torpedo drop kick her straight in the womb. You know what I mean? So like that like. That's now, but still, if like I looked out the window right now and there was a grown man beating up a child, I would go out and I'd get involved because that's just like the right thing to do in that situation. Is that like toxic masculinity, or is that like, you know what I mean? Is that like, oh, that's just a man being a man? I'm like, nah, I think that just depends on you as an individual. Like because there's a lot of blokes who be like, well, that's not my business, that. Whereas me personally, if I saw a child getting fucking braid, I'd be thinking about when I was a kid and like bigger kids chinned me. I wished someone would intervene, so I would just go and intervene. Man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't care about getting punched in the face. I can't look much worse. So like, what difference does it make?
It doesn't hurt as much as people think it does. Like,
no,
unless they're a big.
Nah, it doesn't. Like,
yeah.
It's one of the things that's really weird, and like you never know about fights until it happens. Is really like. You don't know you would get knocked out because you just get knocked out, so you don't know anything about that. And like in the heat of the moment, you barely feel punches.
Yeah, because the adrenaline.
Like because the adrenaline, your body's just like turned that off.
Yeah, because it's trying to protect you. Yeah. But I mean, I remember as a kid being terrified I was going to get punched. Like I didn't want to be hit; it's going to hurt so badly. But like then when it happened, I was like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Actually, I'm just going to
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, cheers, Dad. You taught me a valuable lesson: how to eat through a straw for a month. I'm kidding. I don't even know who Dad is.
Yeah.
What's a dad?
I didn't even know who my dad was. He always wore a balaclava when he beat us. All right.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Enough about the BDSM. But yeah. Good, Andrew Tate in cuffs. Fuck him.
But it was both of them as well. Glad. It was his brother as well. So his brother, the both were arrested
both
as well.
fucking nonsense.
And for basically, like, you know, soliciting minors, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know what will come of it, but good. It was
Hopefully something good.
Hopefully fucking actually pin something.
It'll be a Matrix attack and all these fucking stands.
Someone made a really good point. It was like, that's really smart when you think about it, in a sense, to just keep building up this Matrix narrative, because then if you get called out on anything, no matter how terrible and what the evidence is, people can just go, oh, it's a Matrix attack.
Yeah. Did you see that guy who was like, he doesn't have a small penis? Because obviously those pictures of him and he's got no bulge or what have you. And then there was this guy who wrote a big long essay about, oh, it's not, he doesn't have a small penis, guys. Don't worry, it's just the way he's sitting, and then the penis might be tucked. Like, that's a weird hill for you to die on, mate. Why are you talking about Andrew Tate's knob?
People were like, oh yeah, it's like, it's not like that. And it's also like, you got to think, it's like, it's flaccid. Some people, like, it grows quite big when you're flaccid and stuff. I'm just like, why are you arguing for this man's penis?
You made a post about another man's cock?
Like,
you're my best friend in the whole world, right? But if someone said something about your dick, I wouldn't be like, nah, I think it's quite big, actually.
You're clearly not my best friend in the whole world, because I'd expect you to defend little Benny with your life.
Yeah, just like a big long essay about
like, it's a grow up. It's a grow up. Like, why would you know that? It's a grow up. I've got pictures.
Stop asking why I know.
Let's get me phone and some screensavers. Say it's massive. Ignore the fact that's in my mouth. What?
Yeah, just zoom it all the way in the picture. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's bigger when it's
Don't worry,
zoomed.
I've got loads of pictures. Let's just open this folder.
Like, slideshow. Just like Ben's knob. Just
like a flick book of it slowly becoming erect.
It's just me with high-powered like goggles and fucking cameras and shit.
Yeah, they're like, why are these photos so clear?
Yeah. So Andrew Tate's fan was like, he doesn't have a small penis. I bet you it's massive. Like, oh, what?
Like,
just no.
The figurative dick sucking is just wild.
Oh no, it's wild. Like,
I mean, I suppose in one respect you kind of have to respect it, in the sense of like, fucking hell, he's made it so much that fucking absolute randoms are defending his fucking penis. Like,
yeah, he's lack of.
Because my best friend wouldn't even defend mine.
No, I wouldn't. It's too gay. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather suck it than defend it.
I'd rather suck it anyway. Wait, what? Yeah, I know.
Wait,
like,
what?
but yeah, just such a weird hill to fucking die on.
Yeah.
Fucking Matrix attack.
Forever now going to be Now he's not forever going to be now known as the guy who defended Andrew Tate's penis.
I don't understand why people just defend people you don't know. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's different if it's like an actual friend. So like you say, you're one of my best friends in the fucking planet. Like, and it's a very small group. There's like three. I've got like three friends. Three friends who I consider close to.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously I would defend you, not about your penis. You know, because I know that's small.
That's fair.
I'd be like, yeah, but what's?
I'd be hurt if it wasn't true.
Yeah, it's small, but what's your point? Like, we know that.
It's tiny. Do you know what I mean? We already know this.
If anything, you would never need to defend me, because I'd probably say my penis is smaller than anyone on the planet.
I do that all the time.
I do all the
anyway.
time. Like, it's like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just used to
Yeah,
joking
my
about
partner's the
having a small penis.
Like, what are you doing? Why'd you keep saying that? I'm like, because it's true. Shut up, woman.
And she's like, it's very adequate.
Yeah,
like,
it's below average. It's not small. The big ones hurt.
I like it. It's pocket sized.
Anyway, so
I've lost my train of thought now, because we just went on a tirade about small penises, because you know how easy it is to distract me with penis. Or, you know how easy it is how it is to distract us. But yeah, what a strange fucking hill to die on for. Like, oh yeah, that was my point. Is that, you know, like, obviously I would defend you for like most things more than a regular person, but a fucking stranger. Like, for example, if someone was like, oh, Paul's a nonce, I'd be like, well, I love Paul, so you're gonna have to give us some fucking literal proof before I'm gonna throw away a friendship that matters to us. Yeah, but like I'd said in previous fucking episodes, I used to watch Dr. Disrespect, and I'm like, but I've got no connection to Dr. Disrespect other than time spent watching some of his videos on YouTube and thinking he was funny and entertaining. But then the second I'm like, oh, he's messaging mine, it was very easy for me to be like, fuck him. Like, I always say this all the time, like, Shroud being the most boring man alive, because he is, and I'm not really a Shroud fan at all, but I did obviously watch some of him back in the days. PUBG was really big. But like he said something like he hadn't spoke. Someone was like, you haven't had a stream or an interaction on Twitter or anything with Dr. Disrespect since he was banned from Twitch, which was a few years ago. And he was like, yeah. He was like, because I've worked with Twitch for years. He's like, you don't get banned accidentally like that. Like, I knew it was true. Like, I didn't know. I heard the rumors of what it was. And then obviously nothing ever came out for years because nobody could fucking, like, obviously I'm not going to, I'd heard those rumors, but I'm not going to come out and go, I've heard rumors Dr. Disrespect's a nonce because I don't have anything to back it up with. Me coming out with it isn't worth it. But he's like, but I knew it was true because trusted people in an organization let him out of a fucking $1 million contract. He's like, you don't have to be a fucking genius to figure out that there's obviously something going on there.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And like, I respect him massively for saying that. I'm like I say, I'm not a Shroud fan. I probably now, especially post PUBG, I'll see the odd clip here and there, but I'd never like search out his content ever again. Sort of thing. I'm just not interested. But I'd seen that clip around that Dr. Disrespect thing because, like I say, I did like Dr. Disrespect, and the reason I liked Dr. Disrespect versus someone like Shroud is because he was wildly entertaining and funny and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was so easy for me to be like, well, I've got no anything other than a parasocial relationship with this person.
Yeah.
I'm happy to let that person go because if they're bad,
because
they don't mean anything to us. Like realistically, they're just a person online.
Well,
so like, it's not like where the difference was is like if it was you, obviously I'd want proof, but then I would. But then once I'd be like, and I'd give you a chance to explain yourself. Yeah. And then I'd use me fucking common sense and I'd use me common sense and wisdom, and I'd be like, "Fuck, I'm gutted. I'm actually gutted because I fucking love you, but yeah, I can't be friends with someone who messages minors.
For sure.
So I'm sorry, mate. Like I love you, but like, what the fuck? You broke my heart, you know?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, and that's the correct response. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is it. Like obviously that Gump kid turned out to be a nonce. I mean, I didn't like him as much as I like you, but I was like, that can't be true. Fuck off, no con. And then obviously
because you don't want to believe it about people you've invested time in, but like you haven't really invested time in someone whose content you just watch. Like you've invested time in that content, but you got what you wanted out of that content. So it might sully the memory of the content for you because you're like, oh fuck, that person was a nonce. You might look under. But in the moment where it was just for pure entertainment, you were entertained. So like,
well, that's it.
Dr. Disrespect is a nonce, but I was entertained by his streams in the past. Like that doesn't change. It might change the veil of some of his jokes where you think, fuck, now that joke's a bit under the new knowledge. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh well, that's it. Yeah, I mean,
but his contract,
but you know, all his jokes were like that.
But then you think,
proper dog.
Yeah, but then you think someone probably like, I suppose like there'll be someone who's got like a Dr. Disrespect tattoo or something. Do you know what I mean? There'll be like someone where it's like, I'm so invested, it's like really hard to believe this. But I mean, he's trying to come back, isn't he? And he probably will. He'll probably come back to like obviously a smaller audience, but still an audience. It's
still an audience that's going to keep him fucking rich, for sure. Unless a bunch of fucking 12-year-olds come out and say, yeah, he did. He was a nonce. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think it would actually take him being like locked up. Because I think the thing is that Twitch, for example, obviously they're a business, and they're a business first, and it's cold. And I'm not a fan of Twitch, and I don't defend any of their practices or anything. But like, they are a business first and foremost, and that's all they care about. They don't care about the truth. They're not a company whose job it is to be the arbiter of right and wrong. They're not the law. So for them, they just did what they legally had to do, and what they legally had to do was, fucking hell, we've had these reports that this person's wrong. We're going to cut ties, and we're going to pay off what we have to pay off legally to cut these ties. So they've cut the ties, and they've paid him off his contract and got him off the platform. And they're fucking done. And that's all there is to it on their part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for like someone else, you go, well, I never saw those messages. Like obviously we weren't privy to that information, and then he hasn't been arrested because, like,
didn't he say there was a settlement? Did he mean they settled with him, or did he settle with this minor?
No, he settled with Twitch. He settled with what basically happened was obviously Twitch fucking essentially kicked him off the platform, but he was like, but you signed us for like a so many year contract. So when they've settled, they've paid him probably not the full amount of that contract, but you're still talking millions. I'm sure it was rumored that he was signed for like a 10 million contract because they were locking people in around that time. Mixer was in existence, Microsoft stream platform. And obviously they were trying to, that's when people start getting signed to bigger contracts to stay exclusive. So he was locked in for like, I think it was like 3 years for 10 million or something like that. So I doubt he got the 10 million, but they probably still were like, for a settlement, they probably agreed on like, well, we'll give you 5 million if you sign this bit of paper to say you'll have nothing to do with Twitch and never talk about it again. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happened. But obviously we weren't privy to that court case. We don't see those documents. Stuff like that doesn't go public domain for at least 10 years as well. So like we probably won't see that shit for a really long time.
Yeah.
So, like it'll take probably at least 10 to 15 years where it's probably no longer relevant in the public lexicon to find out how old the minor was or what the messages were. You'll probably just never see that shit. So like for some people that's just enough cover that they can in their mind just separate it. So they've got just enough degrees of separation to go, well, if he's a nonce, why is he not in prison?
Yeah.
And it's like it's unfortunately it's a bigger argument, almost unrelated, that is the law always the arbiter of right and wrong? Not really. It's you know what I mean? It's like that's problems with, and I think he probably did pay something out of the fucking minor. I wouldn't be surprised if he paid a settlement amount to keep it quiet or for it to, because it makes monetary sense to do that. Because even if I think morally, you can do something terrible, and then if you were to be paid off, people would say, well, that's your fault for taking the money. Like some people would go like, well, she's a piece of shit if it took however many million. You go, but yeah, something terrible happened to her, and now she can live a life better than she ever would have imagined. Or she could not keep the money and just have a terrible memory and a terrible thing that happened to her and fade away into poor obscurity. Like, I'd take the money as well.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't change the fucking severity or the wrongness of the original deed.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
But
fucking hell, man. The whole world's just full of them now, isn't it? It's absolutely insane, man. Just like, is there any decent fucking YouTubers or streamers? Even Mr. Beast is getting allegations now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know enough about it to comment on it, but apparently that's not good either. So
I don't know. It's one of those ones where I don't know enough about it as well. But I think a big part of that is more like the conditions of some of these videos. I think it was a Meat Canyon. Have you heard of Meat Canyon? The way they do the kind of weird cartoons. I think they kind of nailed it, because I always felt that the vibe was off, where it's like you're basically making poor people jump through hoops for money. Like, just that as a concept, I think is terrible. And I never liked it. Do you know what I mean? So I never liked it, and like I don't really like it in game shows and things like that. I've never seen any of these videos, to be honest. Not a single one. But from my understanding, it's kind of like like Gladiators or whatever. Yeah, it's like kind of like a game show. It's like, oh, what's that one where you have to do an obstacle course, Takeshi's Castle or something?
Castle or something. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, oh yeah, if you get to the end of this, you'll get $1 million, but if you don't, you get out or whatever. But the conditions and like the accusations that I've seen, in what little I've seen, it's kind of like you'd get to that place and you might be there for 12 hours and there was not sufficient, food options or water breaks or whatever. Like basically people weren't catered to while they were there, and obviously a 12-hour day anywhere with no water break or whatever, like no food. Like someone was basically like, I was there for like 15 hours and all I got was like someone give us half a banana or something like that. Like that was was all the staff were able to provide us. You go like, so that's like where that kind of shit comes into. But I think that's the same thing. Is like, you're so exorbitantly rich. It's like, yeah, you are changing someone's life by giving them loads of money. But I just don't like. I don't like those like where like you go and give a homeless person food and 10 grand or a food and a couple of $100 for the night. I don't want you to film it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Because
like
I know
everyone's
you're monetizing
like, how good that is. Like, you're monetizing it, man.
Yeah.
You're making more making that video than you're giving to that person. Do you know what I mean? It's just
and they're going and they try and justify. Well, they're going, well, it pays for that person to have the thing, and I'm like, yeah, but but you're not truly selfless, though, are you? Because you're doing it.
No, it's not selfless. You're doing it for fame.
You're doing it for the likes, and you're definitely getting more money. So you know what I mean? And it works. It's like. There's different ways you can do it where I think you can make it more of a deed, but a lot of the time I'm just like, meh. Like there's that guy who does gardens. Have you seen the garden guy? So he said like America, I think, and it's like he basically goes to people who've got really overgrown gardens, and
and he does it for free.
And he does it for free, and he sorts
Yeah.
their garden. But it's like that I don't really mind so much because the person isn't really being exploited.
Yeah.
Because they are getting a free product, and they don't have to be in the video. Like a lot of the time, like I've seen quite a few of them where the person doesn't even fucking enter the video, and he just says the person was buzzing with it.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's obviously degrees of it, but obviously he's making loads because like every time I say one of those TikToks or shorts on YouTube, it's got 1 million views. 1 million views of a guy like sped up cleaning a garden. Do you know what I mean? So that's obvious, and you know yourself in YouTube, like literal terms, like 1 million views is like real money, like serious money. So it's like
crazy money. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's a double-edged thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like, is he? But then he's also like, is he really doing a good deed? Because like, how many is he actually doing? Is he doing one every single day? Is that really making a massive difference?
Can it be? Can it be?
You know what I mean? And like the speed up thing is like,
some of them are massive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing, like, that took you like 10 hours,
Mm.
but it's worth it because if you get 1 million views, you get probably like 30 grand. You get like basically like a year's wage. For 10 hours work.
In 10 hours work, yeah. That's insane.
Where it's like, it's worth it in that sense. But then it's also like, it's legal, but it still doesn't, it's just something about it still feels off.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, if you just think of like 10 years ago, gardeners just gardened, and they got paid by the person who did it, and that was their income.
Yeah.
And a window cleaner just cleaned windows. But now it's like, so if I record my day cleaning windows and I upload that at 2 times speed with some upbeat music on, and I tell you that I didn't charge these people for the window, I just went to a bunch of people and I was like, oh look, you're elderly, I'll clean your windows for free.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, that's it.
Is it a good deed though if you're doing it to be paid?
I mean, to the old guy or whatever, yes, but then in reality he is benefiting from it, so. But anyway, life.
The last thing I want to talk about just before we go is, did you see Alicia Silverstone? You know, Batgirl from Batman and Robin. Did you see her fucking video where she just ate a bit of poisonous, it's deadly nightshade, I think it was? Did you see that video?
No.
There's a TikTok where she must be at a restaurant somewhere in England, like down south. And there's a garden with like a gate, and the plant's cutting through the gate a bit. And she's like, "Oh, does anyone know what this fruit is?" And just pulled the fucking thing off, and she bites a bit of it. And she's like, "I don't think you're meant to eat this." And then she's never posted since. And people are like reaching out and like apparently you'd need to eat the whole thing, I think, to probably die. But they're like, "Oh yeah, you'd be like horribly sick for days and days."
Oh,
but it's like just eating that one. If you ate like a full amount, it's like, oh, you die. So people are like, is she fucking dead? And people have like reached out to her fucking like managers and stuff, and they're trying to get a response, but like she hasn't posted.
Oh shit!
But I didn't know. Like I knew now about her outside of like she was Batgirl. You know what I mean? Like I don't know anything about her outside of that and Clueless.
Yeah.
But apparently
she may be dead.
But apparently she's like anti-vax and everything. Like she's a bit of a fucking heed the ball. You know what I mean? She's a bit out of touch. So like.
She's possibly
but
dead.
So she's possibly like, what the fuck? But imagine you die and it's captured on fucking.
Oh well, that's it.
Like your last video, like, ew, what's this?
Shall I eat it?
Just like, fuck's sake.
Wow, that's insane. I didn't know. I'm gonna have to go find that video, man. That's class. Yeah,
it is class, but in the worst possible way.
Oh yeah, obviously. I don't mean don't wish death upon her, but also like, is she dead?
But it's also
rest in peace? Question mark. Fucking hell.
But
people, man.
You just kind of
things they'll do for views.
That's mad, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna do an Alicia Silverstone. See how many views I get. Shall I eat this?
And what for me is someone, you know, who's always on the edge, and now I'm like, oh, so I just need to find some deadly nightshade.
Well, that's it, yeah. Do you know
that seems pretty fucking easy.
I'm good at eating. Do you know what I mean?
What's weird though is like it should be like where it was. Like you say, it was like these metal fences, and then the bush of the plants like pushing through the fucking gaps, and I'm like, that should be illegal to have in your garden.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Anyone could come past.
yeah,
and
like
get-
there was ones
Any
on the
more
floor smushed up and stuff, and I'm thinking of other people
Yeah.
been biting it and getting really sick.
yeah.
Like,
I wonder what this is.
because imagine,
and then- no.
like, that's what you've done. Then you've got no idea whether you've been the sickest you've ever been for like 3 days.
Yeah, that's insane, man. I can't believe she's done that. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
find the
what the
video. That's class. Oh, what a way to end the podcast, man. That's really funny.
So,
shit.
I wouldn't say don't shoot kids. I'd say don't eat deadly nightshade.
Well, that's it. Yeah, don't eat deadly nightshade. You fucking retard.
Yep.